back to my channel. Today we are going to get into my March favorites. I love favorites videos. They are my favorite to film, watch, everything. They're just my favorite. Now, I do have some skincare favorites and some hair care favorites, but I'm gonna save those for my upcoming Sephora sale video because don't buy any of this until the Sephora sale. Like if there's anything in here that I'm talking about that will be up on the Sephora sale, get it then, because that video is going to be filled with such good stuff. Some of the stuff I have not even talked about, so I can't wait to share those with you. Before we jump into all of these favorites sitting out here in front of me, this video is in collaboration with Jackeline from Hey It's Jacqueline. She reached out to me and said, hey, it's time for us to collaborate again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, it's been a minute since we've collaborated. So we are going to be collaborating today in this video. She's also going to be going through her March favorites. I will definitely link her channel and video in the description box down below so you guys can check it out. She is always on top of it. Like, I don't know how she does what she does. Like, she has a business, she's self-employed, she's got children that are young, and she is on top of this. I don't know how she does it. Her channel is filled with reviews and she's quick to get them up so that you can decide if it's something that you want to get. She does more like high-end luxury makeup and she's really detailed, very thorough, and she's a sweetheart. So if you guys haven't checked out her channel and you love luxury makeup, you will love her channel because she's all about the luxury. And she knows a lot about the formulas that I'm not super familiar with, right? So like, I am like tiptoeing into Chanel. I'm tiptoeing into Tom Ford. I'm like barely tiptoeing into these very expensive brands. She knows them all and she reviews them all. She just knows it. She knows her stuff. So definitely check out Jacqueline's channel. Tell her that you are from my family. And if you are over here from Jacqueline's channel, welcome. My name is Lynn and I'm a little bit cuckoo. I like to talk with my hands and I like to keep things very real over here. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. Let's go ahead and jump into these favorites. Like I said, I'm saving some of the new pieces that I have found for my Sephora sale video, but we're gonna get into it. Okay, the first products I'm gonna talk about are probably the products that I have fallen the hardest for in March. Don't think you guys are gonna be surprised by this, but it is this crazy. I did not expect this, but it is the Chantecaille Radiant Gel Bronzer. I loved the blush so much, I bought another shade of blush. They're so pretty. I also have two highlighters. Okay, first of all, this formula melts into the skin with no effort. I have just nothing. It doesn't take anything. Here's the thing. I am shocked how much I love these products from Chantecaille. Absolutely blown away. This gel bronzer is one of the best formulas I've ever used. And of course it's warm bronzer. You guys know I love a warm bronzer. So this is warm. But what's amazing about this formula is that it is so easy to build and it never, when I tell you it never gets muddy, it never gets muddy. It never gets gunky. It never gets too thick. It is such a beautiful gel formula and the way that it applies. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. This is going to be my ride or die in the summer. I can already tell. It's just absolutely beautiful. I can't stop using it. I can't stop reaching for it. And I'm obsessed with it. At the end of the day, that is what it boils down to. If you guys want to see me apply this, I did create a video sharing these products. I will link that up here in the iCards. In the video, I was using the Cheek Gelée in, this is the blush, in the shade Lively. By the way, somebody pointed out in that video, which I'm so grateful to whoever pointed it out, but I was taking off this plastic piece, not realizing that I didn't need to. There's a little tab that you pull off the top of this. P.S. It's fabulous. I don't know why I didn't figure that out. Sometimes it takes me a minute, you guys. Sometimes I'm a ditz. I really am. Sometimes I'm sure you guys have figured that out. I can be very ditzy. So I love this formula so much that I decided to pick up the pink shade. So this is Lively and this one is Happy. They are so gorgeous. I cannot tell, I can't begin to tell you how beautiful these are. But when you put them on the cheek, they give such a natural look to the skin. They're so pretty. I love them. I love them. In that video, I was using the shade Sheen in the highlighter, and this one had a little bit of like a pink undertone. It was like a pink silver, and I didn't really love it for my skin. This is the highlighter. Whew. So I ordered the shade Brilliance, and oh, is it gorgeous. It's got the golden undertone. Oh my gosh. These are stunning on the skin, and they blend so easily. You guys, if you love anything liquid and you're looking for something liquid to wear for the summer, you will not be disappointed in these Chantecailles. They are, all three of them are fantastic formulas. I am obsessed with them. Like, I can't stop using them. I'm so obsessed. So we're just going to put them to the side for now, because if I will continue to keep talking about them if I don't move on. Okay. Speaking of blush, I am still really loving this Jaclyn Cosmetics blush. I'm not wearing the bronzer today because I'm still kind of playing around with the new Dior bronzer that I just reviewed a couple days ago. I do really love this palette from Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the Stay Rosy and the Yummy Toffee. Such a beautiful baked formula. The blush is really beautiful and very easy to apply. This is a gorgeous little palette. Like, Jaclyn did a great job on this. I still really love it. I think it's a beautiful formula, and I have found myself reaching for it quite frequently. Okay, these I have not used on camera. These are from Tower 28. These are their new shades in their Beach Please cream blushes. Oh, they are so good. Okay, I'm going to be talking a lot about cream blushes, you guys, and I feel really bad because, like, there's a lot in here, but there's just been so many good blushes launched recently. So these are the Rush Hour and Power Hour, I believe. Yeah. So this is Rush Hour and this is Power Hour. Gorgeous. Obviously, you guys know this formula is a fantastic formula. Now, the thing about Tower 28 that's a little bit different than some of the other formulas, these are very emollient, but they last all day. There's a lot of emollient cream blushes out there that don't last very long. These last like a dream. They got such great pigment. They blend beautifully and they last all day. Like, I never have to worry about these disappearing on my skin. There's a lot of cream blushes that will disappear throughout the day. These are not one of them. So I wanted to show you guys. I have been using them. They are very, very beautiful. So pretty. Same goes for the LYS cream blushes, you guys. Now, the difference between Tower 28 and LYS. Okay, let's get into that. LYS is a little bit more on the matte side. So these are still emollient, but they have more of a matte finish. So these are very similar. These are similar colors. Let me show you. All right, these two up here are from LYS. These two down here are from Tower 28. You can see right away that they all have a shine to them, but the Tower 28 is a little bit more of an emollient shine. The LYS is a little bit more on the matte side, so it kind of dries down to like a satin matte, but the LYS kind of still gives the skin like a really pretty shine. So it kind of depends on what finish you're looking for. Both really good formulas, blend into the skin beautifully, and I love them both. I do. I think for me, when I am wearing like a full face of makeup like today and my skin is a little bit more powdered and polished, I reach for the LYS. But during the days where I am wearing less makeup or I'm not as polished and I'm kind of just running errands and I want my skin to just be really fresh and dewy, I reach for the Tower 28. So it kind of just depends on what finish you particularly like. But the shades are pretty similar and both are really good formulas. Like, I have no complaints about the formulas. Now, I also really like the LYS bronzers. This is a beautiful bronzer and it's very lightweight on the skin and just really blends right into the skin. This one I will probably use more towards like the fall and winter time. Right now with summer coming, I'm all about the warmth, right? So like, I'm reaching for those bronzers that's going to give me a lot of warmth. This one is the shade Courage, and it's in the tan category. And this one matches my skin tone a little bit better than the shade Harmony, which is for medium. Beautiful formula though. So if you find a shade in the LYS that's perfect for your skin tone, you will love the formula. Speaking of bronzers, let me just pull this out really quick. So you guys know that recently I reviewed the new Summer Solstice collection from NARS. In that video, I was using the shade Laguna, which is it's a cream bronzer. This shade was gray. It was too gray for my warm skin. And I regretted not buying the shade Casino. So this is the shade Laguna, okay? Let me show you. I did go ahead and pick up Casino because I was so curious about how Casino would look on my skin. So this is the shade Casino. This is Laguna. Laguna was the shade I was using, and you could tell that I was not in love with the shade. The formula is really beautiful though. So if you're looking for a matte, it's like a semi-matte bronzer, like a satin matte bronzer. If you're looking for a cream bronzer, and you can use either the shade Laguna or Casino, it's a really great formula. It blends, melts right into the skin. Like, I don't have any issues with the formula alone, and it really does work better with my warm skin. So I have used it, and I think it's beautiful. So you guys were right. Casino was definitely the better shade for me, and I just wanted to show you guys what the shade Casino looks like next to Laguna, so that you guys, if you were kind of thinking about which one to get. Let's talk about 3 blushes. I know it's kind of a blush and bronzer, but there's been so many blushes and bronzers launched, right? Like, I'm like bronzered out, like out. I don't know why all these brands are launching bronzers, but these 3 blushes from N Cosmetics are absolutely stunning, and I'm finding myself reaching for these over the Hourglass formula. They're so pretty. I love these. In fact, my favorite of the 3 is the Venetian Rose. I've kind of figured it would be. This is the newer shade that she launched. I love these. The formula is amazing on these blushes, and what I love the most about them is they have a radiance to them, but they don't emphasize texture on the skin, which is why, in my opinion, the reasons why I loved the Hourglass blushes, because they have a radiance to them, and when you put them on the skin, they give that glistened look, but they don't emphasize all the texture and stuff that we have in this area. But let me tell you something, these from M Cosmetics, they're more pigmented than the Hourglass, and they have the same radiance, the same beautiful texture, and I actually like these more than I do the Hourglass. I think they're gorgeous. They're just so, so, so beautiful, and I love them. She did such a great job on these. So this one is Faded Clementine, this is Magic Hour, and this is Venetian Rose. I love Venetian Rose. I think Venetian Rose is absolutely stunning. But the formula, hands down, amazing. Let's talk about a few foundations. All right, first off, let's talk about the Good Apple foundation from KVD. Let me just say this. This is a beautiful foundation. Absolutely just gorgeous foundation. Here's the deal on it though. If you apply too much, it is horrible. And I know that in my video, I said it multiple times. I said it over and over and over and over and over in that video. I've seen a few reviews after I uploaded my review, and I've kind of played around with it more and more. I've seen a few reviews since I reviewed this foundation, and a lot of the times I see that they use too much and they don't like it. Because believe me, I've used too much of this foundation and hated it so bad. If you use too much, it will be cakey. It will emphasize every line. It will emphasize every pore. It will be gross. If you use the lightest amount of it and just do like a one even small layer on the skin, it's stunning. For me, it's all about how much I apply. I love it. It's so dependable. It lasts all day. In fact, I would say last week sometime, I wore it for 16 hours. 16 hours. And I didn't look a hot mess by the time I went to bed. It was so long lasting, but again, I have to be so careful with how much I apply. Here's the thing though, I don't know how it's going to work during the summer. Because it's such an emollient based, I don't know how it's going to look in the summer. I'm kind of curious to see on those hot, sweaty days how it wears. But for me personally, I'm obsessed with it. But again, I cannot say this enough. Don't use very much. Oh, don't use very much. It'll be a hot freaking mess. The other foundation I'm still loving is this from Givenchy. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is the Skin Caring Glow foundation, and I think this is so radiant and so beautiful, and it reminds me a lot of the Chanel, the LYS Beige, which is one of my favorites. Oh, I love this foundation. I don't wear this on camera because it's a little bit too shiny and I reflect off these lights ridiculously. But this is one of my favorite foundations. Besides the Tom Ford Traceless Stick Foundation, that one's my top favorite. But this one is like top, right? What I will say is that these are very similar. The way that they look, the way that they wear, and the way that they make the skin just look so gorgeous. I would say the Givenchy, you get more coverage than you do from the Chanel Le Beige. I feel like the Le Beige is just more of that like glow, and you get like a light to light medium coverage. But the thing that I will say about the Le Beige though, I can go in heavy with this. Like I can build it up to a medium and it never looks like I even applied that much. Like it's crazy how it is so easy to build without ever getting cakey and gross. Now, a lot of people don't like the Le Beige because it does have a strong fragrance. I truly do not have the best sense of smell. So when it comes to smelling things, I don't smell this when I apply it. The only foundation that really bothers me when I apply it is the YSL. Like the YSL always has like really strong fragrance in their complexion products. The Givenchy, I don't think has, well, it has a slight fragrance to it, but I don't think it's as strong as the Chanel, okay? And I feel like this one is probably more medium coverage than this one. This one's like light to light medium, so there is a difference in coverage, but they're both very, very similar in the way that they apply, and they're absolutely beautiful. This Givenchy is so natural, and I would recommend this to those who have like dry, normal skin that just love a radiance. It is beautiful. They freaking nailed this foundation. It's so gorgeous. So this LYS, this is the Triple Fix Serum Foundation. This is really beautiful. Gorgeous foundation. I picked this up in the shade TG5. It's like a satin matte finish, very, very even to apply, lasts a long time. I did a full review on it. It's a very beautiful foundation. LYS, they came out of the gate running hard. They nailed their entire line. Like they did such a great job, and this is beautiful. Let's talk about the By Terry concealer. I just used this the other day in a video. I have been using this for a minute, but I didn't finally use it on camera until just a few days ago when I did like a full face of some luxury products. This is a gorgeous concealer. I would say this is a satin matte finish. I would say it's a full coverage. It looks very healthy, very beautiful under the skin. But I think if you have dry under eyes, you're going to want to be careful with this. It has a gorgeous brush on the tip of it, so it's really easy to apply with this beautiful soft brush. The downfall to this is that it doesn't have that many shades. I think it only has 6 shades. This one is the shade 400 medium, but this one blends right into the skin. I'm not wearing it today. It does smooth the under eye. So it's kind of similar to the Hourglass Vanish concealer, but I don't think it's as thick. So if you wanted to love the Hourglass, but you just couldn't get past the fact that it was a little bit too thick, you might really like this one from By Terry. Okay. This KOSAS powder. Now, this is the first time I've talked about this powder on camera because I have used it. I just haven't talked about it. It's beautiful. I don't have them with me because I've sent them to my friend Gabe for him to play with. The Dior Backstage powder, you know, the new Dior Backstage powder. I'm not a fan of them. It's not really that I'm not a fan of the powder itself. I'm not a fan of the neutral tone. It's neutral to the point where it turns my skin gray. So that's what I don't like about the Dior Backstage powder the most. But it does give you that no powder look, right? So for those that don't love powder but want the effects of powder, the Dior Backstage is really beautiful. But this from KOSAS, you guys, this is like the no powder powder. This, you will not even know you're applying it, but it gives you that look. Let me show you. This is one of the few powders that I can do the sponge trick with. So now that I am almost 42, I am not one of those people that can dip my sponge down into a powder and press it on this little delicate, thin skin that's right here, right? So like, as I've gotten older, I can't do that, especially with thick, loose setting powder. I'm just no way. But This I can. I've been wanting to show you guys this on camera. So I picked it up with a sponge. Now this sponge, it's not fully dampened. It's been sitting here for probably an hour like this, but let me show you what it looks like. So I can take this powder like right here in this area with a sponge, and it's not thick, it's not cakey, and it's beautiful. And it doesn't exaggerate every single line under my eyes. It just smoothed that area out and brightened it up without making it look thick and heavy, and oh, it's so pretty. I think it's the Cloud set, and I have it in the shade Comfy. Now, yes, I am still playing with my Gucci, and yes, I am still loving it. Now, this gives a radiance, so let me show you what this looks like. So, you can see on this side, I'm going to put it right here. It gives the slightest radiance though, so it's not as shimmery, it's not like you can't see it sitting on the skin, but it does give a beautiful radiant. This was just more flat, this became a little bit more radiant. I'm still kind of playing around with this, but so far you guys. Oh. I have two palettes to talk about, and one of them is from SURRATT. This is the Beyond Beige palette. I never in my life thought that I would like this palette. There's been many times I've watched videos of like my top 10 favorite neutral palette, right? So many times this palette from SURRATT is in there. And this seems to be a favorite of many people. And I'm like, what is so special about that expensive palette? Well, this Beyond Beige is beautiful. Now, I did a full face of SURRATT Beauty, which I will be uploading that video very soon, hopefully. And in that video, I used this Beyond Beige. I've used it so many times since then. It's so beautiful. I can see why people love this. Now, is it necessary? No. No, it is not necessary. These are not any different than what you already have, right? You probably have all these shades in your collection. So this is not fully necessary. But on those days when I am wearing something of this tone, that's the palette I reach for. Now, is that palette necessary? No. The only reason why I bring it up is because if you were out there in the audience and it's been something that you've wanted to pick up but just never really understood the hype behind it, I'm here to tell you the hype is legit. And that is the reason why that damn palette never stays in stock. The palette never stays in stock because every time it comes in stock, it's gone. And there's a reason. It is a beautiful palette. And it's one of those that's an everyday palette. It's one of those that is easy to use, beautiful. Every single time I've used it, my eyeshadow looks amazing. It's so easy to use. It's one of those like creamy matte formulas. For example, one of the shades in the palette is a matte but has some shimmer to it. These are so creamy to blend on the eye. Even this dark shade, like this dark shade, it's like seriously like applying a cream matte. Gorgeous texture, absolutely beautiful, so easy to use, and I can see why that palette never stays in stock. I can see it. Is it necessary? No. Do I love it? Abso-freaking-lutely. So we're gonna move on. Okay, the next product I have is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Brow Cheat, and I have this in the shade Medium Brown. I'm actually using it right now. The one thing I did want to mention is in my video, I said that this wasn't refillable. Other one that she has, this is the Brow Lift. In her Brow Lift, all you have to do to refill it is just pull this out, and you just refill it. It's amazing. But this one doesn't do that. And so I sat there forever and I'm like, well, this isn't refillable because this isn't working. And when I bought it, they didn't have the refills on the website. I saw the refills for the Brow Fix, but at the time when I was reviewing it, they didn't have the refills for the Brow Cheat. But this has a refill. You have to twist it and out. So just FYI, I was wrong in that video. This is refillable, and it's the tiniest little pencil, and I absolutely love it. I love this pencil for many reasons, but it is the easiest to draw and make. It's a little bit creamier. So there's some formulas that are a little bit dry, and you kind of have to push really hard to get it to kind of show up. This, you only have to press just a little bit, and it pops right up. and it is a really nice formula. So I have been really loving this brow cheat. Now, here's the thing. I was going to come on here and tell you how much I love the new Huda Beauty. This is the BALM Brows. I love this pencil, but I ran out of it in like 2 weeks. I used it for 2 weeks and it's gone. I don't like that. I don't like that it doesn't come with very much. This is a brand spanking new one, okay? The seal hasn't been broke. This one has not been broke. This is a pencil you have to be careful with, because if you have it out too far, because it's so small, it will break off. So you have to be very careful. I know that. I only bring it out about this far. Like, if you have it out farther than that, it's gonna break off. So yes, you have to be careful with it because it's the tiniest pencil I have ever seen. There is not a pencil on the market that I have found that is this small. So here's the thing on it. It's got great shades. I feel like it's a fantastic formula. I feel like it gives you the feathered brow. For those of you that are not really comfortable with the micro pens, like the pen brows, but you want that look, this is a great pencil to use because it is so small. And you can just feather those hair strokes because it's the smallest pencil I've ever seen. Just expect to go through it quickly. I was really surprised how quick I went through it. The pencil itself is so small that you don't get very much. You only get a tiny bit of it. So there's good and bad. So just know that just know that you're going to have to replace it a lot. And that just really, I was so bummed about it because it is a great pencil. It really is a good pencil. The difference between this one and the Charlotte Tilbury, I would say in the new brow cheat, I would say the Charlotte Tilbury is a little bit more emollient based. And I feel like I am able to make a little bit stronger of hair strokes, meaning like when I push down, I can make a hair stroke more visible than with the Huda Beauty because the Huda Beauty is just smaller and I think the formula is a little bit drier. So I think that's the other reason why you not only have to be super careful because the pencil's so small, it will break off, but the formula is a little bit drier. It's one of those that if you're going to use this and only this, like if this is the only brow pencil you're going to have in your collection, you need backups because when you run out, you're out. So I would have backups of it at all times. I think we've made it through all of the products that I wanted to talk to you guys. Oh no, I got one more palette. My bad. This one from NARS, Uninhibited. It is like me. It's all about it's got the berries and the golds and the tans and I do. Once in a while, I have to incorporate it with other palettes, but I have really enjoyed this palette. It's really beautiful. Now, in this video, I don't have a lot of fails, and there's a reason for that, because I am compiling a, video or products into one video of my luxury fails. It's all going to be one big video of products that are in the luxury line that I just do not like. So that's the reason why there's no fails in this, because I'm going to save some of those for that video. So I'll probably upload that in the next week or two because I'm still kind of compiling the list. I've been trying out a lot of luxury makeup and there's a lot that's just junk and I don't want you guys to waste your money on it. So it's all going to be in one video and there's quite a bit, which is kind of sad. So that's it, you guys. That is the video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. Again, thank you to Jacqueline for collaborating with me on this video. Again, I will leave a link to her video in the description box down below so you guys can go check out her channel. She is on top of it, you guys. She's on top of every new release. Nothing ever flies. Nothing ever gets past her. So definitely check out her channel. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.